Have you ever felt a sudden flutter in your chest after your morning coffee? Or noticed a slight dizziness when you stand up too quickly? It is a scary feeling, isn't it? We often brush these moments off as just another part of getting older, but what if I told you that your favorite daily ritual could be silently putting you at risk for a life-altering event? We all know that high blood pressure is a silent killer, but there is a hidden trigger that almost nobody talks about. It is not just about how much coffee or tea you are drinking, but specifically when you are drinking it. Imagine if simply changing the timing of your cup could save you from a stroke and keep you independent for years to come. It might sound dramatic, but the science tells us that timing is everything, especially when our bodies change after the age of 60. You see, as we age, our arteries stiffen and our metabolism slows down, making us much more sensitive to things that never bothered us in our 30s or 40s. There are 3 specific windows of time during the day when consuming caffeine can create a perfect storm for a stroke, yet millions of seniors do it every single day without knowing the danger. In this video, we are going to uncover these 3 critical danger zones, and I will share with you exactly what to drink instead to protect your brain and your heart. You will walk away with a simple strategy that doesn't ask you to give up your joy, but empowers you to enjoy it safely. Before we dive into these life-saving details, if you care about staying healthy, active, and independent well into your golden years, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications. We share the kind of deep, practical senior health tips that doctors often do not have time to explain during a quick visit. And let me ask you something I am always curious about. Are you watching this from the United States, the UK, Canada, or somewhere else entirely? Drop a comment below with where you are from. It is truly amazing to see how far our community of proactive seniors reaches, and I would love to welcome you. Now let us get straight to the heart of the matter. We need to talk about the first and perhaps the most surprising danger zone. It is the one that almost every single one of us is guilty of. The first time you must avoid caffeine to prevent a stroke is immediately upon waking up. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, but that is the best part of my day. I understand completely. For decades, we have been programmed to believe that the only way to start the morning is with a hot, steaming cup of coffee. It is the smell that wakes us up and the warmth that gets us moving. But here is the simple science of why this is dangerous for us now. When you first wake up, your body is naturally flooding your system with a hormone called cortisol. Scientists call this the Cortisol Awakening Response. Think of cortisol as your body's built-in alarm clock. It naturally raises your blood pressure and heart rate to help you transition from sleep to wakefulness. Now imagine your cardiovascular system is like a garden hose. In the morning, that hose is already under a bit of pressure because of the cortisol. When you pour caffeine into your system, right at that moment, you are essentially stomping on the gas pedal while the car is still in park. Caffeine is a vasoconstrictor, which means it narrows your blood vessels. So you have cortisol raising the pressure and caffeine narrowing the vessels at the exact same time. For a younger person with flexible elastic arteries, this might just feel like a jolt of energy. But for us as seniors, our arteries have naturally become a bit stiffer over time. This combination creates a massive spike in blood pressure that can put immense strain on the delicate vessels in your brain. In fact, research has shown that the risk of stroke and heart attack is statistically highest in the morning hours, and this habit is a major contributor. It is like redlining an engine before the oil has warmed up. Over time this morning, spike weakens the vessel walls, making them more susceptible to rupturing or blocking, which is exactly what a stroke is. I want you to picture this scenario. You wake up feeling a bit groggy, so you head straight to the kitchen. You haven't had any water for 8 hours, so your blood is naturally thicker and more viscous from dehydration. You drink that strong coffee, and suddenly your heart has to work double time to pump that thicker blood through narrower vessels against higher pressure. It is a heavy burden to place on your body before you have even brushed your teeth. But do not worry, because the fix is incredibly simple, and you do not have to quit coffee. You just have to delay it. The actionable advice here is to wait at least 90 minutes after waking up before you have your first cup of caffeine. Give your body time to let those natural cortisol levels drop and your blood pressure to stabilize. In that first 90 minutes, focus on hydration. Drink a large glass of warm water with a squeeze of lemon if you like. This thins your blood, making it easier for your heart to pump and flushes out the toxins from the night. By the time you sit down for your coffee an hour and a half later, your body is ready for it and you can enjoy it without that dangerous pressure spike. It is a small shift in timing that makes a massive difference in your safety. Moving on to the second danger zone, and this one is particularly important for those of you who are active and love to get things done around the house. The second time you must avoid caffeine is right before or immediately after high-intensity physical exertion. Now, when I say high intensity, I do not just mean running a marathon. For seniors, high intensity can mean shoveling snow gardening in the hot sun, lifting heavy grocery bags, or even a brisk walk up a steep hill. Here is why this is critical to understand. When you perform physical labor, your blood pressure naturally rises to deliver oxygen to your muscles. This is a normal and healthy response. However, if you add caffeine into the mix, you are compounding that effect. Remember, caffeine restricts blood vessels. So your heart is trying to pump harder to support your activity, but the caffeine is tightening the pathways. This creates a bottleneck effect that causes blood pressure to skyrocket to dangerous levels. Let me tell you a quick story about a man named Robert. Robert was 72 and prided himself on keeping his own lawn perfectly manicured. One Saturday, he had 2 cups of strong coffee and went out to mow the lawn in the heat. He felt fine at first, but about 20 minutes in, he felt a wave of dizziness and a pounding headache. He ignored it, thinking it was just the heat. Robert was lucky that he sat down in time, but his doctor later told him he had experienced a transient ischemic attack, often called a warning stroke. The combination of the physical strain, the heat, and the caffeine had pushed his blood pressure into the danger zone. It sounds ironic, doesn't it? We think of caffeine as a performance booster, something to give us the energy to do the work. But for our demographic, it can be the straw that breaks the camel's back. This is especially true if you are taking medication for blood pressure. Many of us are on beta blockers or other heart medications. Caffeine can sometimes interfere with how these drugs work or counteract their benefits, leaving you unprotected right when you are putting your body under stress. So, what should you do instead? If you know you are going to be doing yard work, exercising, or carrying heavy loads, skip the caffeine beforehand. Focus entirely on hydration. Water is the fuel your muscles need, not caffeine. If you really want that cup of coffee, save it for after you have finished your work and after you have had a proper cool down period. Wait until your heart rate has returned to its resting pace and you have ceased sweating. This way, you are rewarding yourself for the work rather than endangering yourself during it. Think of it as a safety protocol. Just like you wouldn't drive a car without a seatbelt, you shouldn't put your heart under heavy load while it is under the influence of a stimulant. If you are finding these tips useful so far, please take a second to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps spread the word to other seniors who might benefit from this life-saving information. And if you haven't yet, do subscribe for more little-known health insights because we are just getting started, and the next point might be the most crucial one for your long-term brain health. I hope you are taking notes because this next one is often the hardest habit to break. This brings us to the third critical time to avoid caffeine, and this one is responsible for a cascade of health issues that go far beyond just a temporary blood pressure spike. The third time is in the late afternoon and evening, specifically within 8 to 10 hours of your bedtime. I know what you might be saying. You might say, oh, I can drink a cup of coffee at dinner and fall asleep just fine. I hear this all the time. But here is the truth that science has revealed. Just because you are unconscious does not mean you are getting the restorative sleep your brain needs to prevent a stroke. Let's break down the simple science here. As we age, our liver function naturally slows down. The enzyme responsible for breaking down caffeine becomes less efficient. In your 30s, you might have been able to process a cup of coffee in 4 hours. But now, in your 60s or 70s, that same cup might stay in your system for 8 or even 10 hours. If you have a cup of tea or coffee at 4 in the afternoon, half of that caffeine is still active in your bloodstream at 10 at night when you are trying to sleep. Why does this matter for stroke prevention? Well, deep sleep is when your brain cleans itself. There is a system called the glymphatic system, which acts like a nightly cleaning crew, sweeping away toxins and plaques that build up during the day, including the ones associated with Alzheimer's and stroke risk. Caffeine inhibits deep sleep. Even if you fall asleep, the quality of that sleep is lighter and more fragmented. You miss out on that deep restorative cleaning cycle. Chronic poor sleep is a massive risk factor for stroke. When you don't sleep well, your blood pressure stays higher overnight instead of dipping as it should. This is called non-dipping, and it keeps your blood vessels under constant pressure 24 hours a day without a break. Imagine your brain is like a busy office building. During the day, it is full of activity and trash accumulates. At night, the cleaning crew comes in to scrub the floors and take out the trash. But if caffeine is still in your system, it is like locking the doors so the cleaning crew cannot get in. The trash builds up. Over days, months, and years, that build up damages the blood vessels and brain tissue, significantly raising your risk of a stroke. So here is the actionable takeaway. You need to establish a strict caffeine cutoff time. A good rule of thumb for seniors is the 10-hour rule. Count back 10 hours from your bedtime. If you go to bed at 10 in the evening, your last drop of caffeine should be at noon. I know noon sounds early, but remember how long it takes for your body to process it now. If you crave a warm beverage in the afternoon, this is the perfect time to explore delicious alternatives. Have you ever tried golden milk? It is a warm drink made with turmeric, ginger, and a little black pepper in milk, or a plant-based alternative. Not only is it caffeine-free, but the turmeric is a powerful anti-inflammatory that helps your joints and your brain. Or perhaps a cup of rooibos tea, which has a rich, earthy flavor similar to black tea, but is completely naturally caffeine-free and full of antioxidants. By swapping that afternoon coffee for a brain-healthy alternative, you are doing double duty. You are avoiding the sleep disruption and adding nutrients that actively protect your arteries. It might feel a bit unsettling to learn all this. It can feel like everything we enjoy is suddenly bad for us. But I want to reassure you that knowledge is power. It is not about living in fear or depriving yourself. It is about strategy. You have lived a long life and you have gathered wisdom, and this is just another piece of wisdom to add to your toolkit. You do not need to overhaul everything overnight. Even if you just start by pushing your morning coffee back by an hour or switching to decaf in the afternoons, you are making a profound difference. Think about the freedom that comes with knowing you are taking care of yourself. Imagine waking up feeling truly rested because your deep sleep wasn't blocked by caffeine. Imagine walking up the porch steps easily again without that pounding heart because you stayed hydrated instead of caffeinated. That is the difference these small tweaks can make over time. Your body is incredibly resilient. It wants to heal and it wants to stay strong. It just needs you to give it the right conditions. Now, there is another layer to this that we rarely discuss, and that is the interaction with hydration. Caffeine is a diuretic, meaning it makes you lose water. As seniors, our sense of thirst diminishes. We often don't realize we are dehydrated until it is too late. Dehydration thickens the blood. Thick blood is harder to pump and more likely to clot. If you are drinking caffeine at these dangerous times and not drinking enough water, you are essentially turning your blood into sludge. This is why for every cup of coffee you do drink, I want you to drink 2 cups of water. It is a simple ratio that can save your life. 1 cup of pleasure, 2 cups of protection. Let's briefly recap so we have a clear plan of action. First, we avoid caffeine immediately upon waking to prevent that cortisol-driven pressure spike. We wait 90 minutes and hydrate first. Second, we avoid caffeine right before or after heavy exertion to stop the compounding stress on our heart. We use water to fuel our work. And third, we avoid caffeine in the late afternoon and evening to protect our deep sleep and allow our brains to clean and repair themselves. It is all about giving your body what it needs and avoiding the sneaky things that cause harm. I want to take a moment to speak to you heart to heart. I know getting older is hard. The aches, the pains, the fear of losing mobility or becoming a burden on your family. It can be scary and sometimes it feels discouraging, like your body is fighting against you. But I want you to know that you are not alone in this and it is not too late to turn things around. Every small step you take, every better choice you make is strengthening your vessels and your future freedom. Growing older might be inevitable, but growing weaker does not have to be. You have the power to change your health trajectory today. One cup of water at a time, one better decision at a time, you are taking charge of your health. You are telling your body that you are worth protecting. And believe me, you are. You have so much life left to live, so many memories left to make with your grandchildren and your loved ones. Don't let a simple habit like coffee timing steal that away from you. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which of these tips surprised you the most? Did you know about the cortisol spike in the morning, or was the sleep connection new to you? Do you have any personal experiences with cutting back on caffeine, or maybe a favorite caffeine-free drink that you love? Share your story or any questions in the comments below. I read every single one, and we all learn from each other. Your tip about a herbal tea might be exactly what someone else needs to read today to make a change. And finally, if this video helped you or opened your eyes even a little, please hit the like button. It means a lot to me personally, and it helps other seniors find this video. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on important health insights that could improve your life. We have plenty more science-backed tips for thriving in your golden years coming up. If you are still with me and determined to stay strong and protect your brain, type a number 1 in the comments to affirm it. Let's see how many of us are making a pact for better health today. Stay strong, stay healthy, and remember your independence is carried by the choices you make today. Keep taking those small steps for your health because they add up to giant strides in your freedom.